Chapter 7, Understanding Marginalization. What is marginalization? Where do you get marginalized? What is the meaning of socially getting marginalized? The meaning here has a very in-depth connect with the common man's life. When we are in any group, when we are forced to be at the edges, when we are forced to be at the side rather than being at the center, that is called being marginalized. Socially being marginalized means when you are in a group, when you are forced to be out of the focus, that is called being marginalized. Means you are sent to the margins, you are sent to the out of the main focus, you are boosted out from the center. We generally get these kind of situations, and many of you might also have been experienced these kind of situations, which are really painful also. Like you may be different when you are thinking, so that makes you to be marginalized. You may be dressing differently, you may be having different custom, you may have different accent, you may have different thought process. So all this makes you to feel that you are different from the group. This kind of making you to feel different from the group is known as getting marginalized. So the Constitution lays stress on how to protect the interests of the marginalized groups. But before going to understand how the Constitution protects them, first of all, let us know how many groups are there in this marginalization. How are they getting marginalized? Are we recognizing them? Are they present in our society or not? These all we try to find out now. Adivasis and marginalizations. We are now going to discuss this through a story. The two children and his great grandfather are watching the Republic Day parade of 26th January. So when they are watching this, they found many floats coming in. For every state you get one float which depicts the tradition of that particular state, special importance of that particular state. So as many floats are coming in, the two young children find one of the float where the Adivasis are also coming, to which they also belong to. So they told to the Dadu, that the grandfather, that come and watch, we are seeing our float where our dancing customs are shown in the RP Day parade, that is Republic Day parade, which is a pride for our country. So they have watched that one. And now the girl asks the grandfather, Dadu, why only the dancing of the Adivasis is shown here, always and everywhere? We are not shown like any other tribe, only the dancing, which is also fearful, which is in the primitive type, where we are shown that we are backward classes people. Why the Adivasis are portrayed like this? They don't know much about us, or are we really like this? Then Dadu responded for this, saying that these people do not know much about our life, because the Adivasis used to stay very close to the forest or in the interior of the forest. They used to cultivate the lands which are very close to the forest, and they used to get everything, whatever they want, from the forest which is around them. They used to consider themselves as they are the inhabitants or the naturally born son of the forest. They used to consider forest as their mother. They used to take care of their forest also very carefully. But as the times passed on, where they used to stay in the carefree houses, where all their needs were satisfied by the forest or the lands nearby. As the times passed on, the colonial rule which came into India through the Britishers, initially they were not having much interest towards the Adivasis or towards the forest. But as a situation arises that the oak forest in England are getting disappeared because they are being continuously struck down to make the ships for the Royal Navy. So as search parties were sent across the world to find out which wood would be durable and strong or equally to match up to the strength and stability of the oak. So the search parties came to India and they learned that teak would be serving better and equally with that of the oak. So they have informed that teak forests are found in our country, India, and these forests, which are the homelands for the Adivasis, were being looked upon by the Britishers as the sources of wealth, and they started to give private contractors the rights to cut down these forests, and these Adivasis who are staying in this forest were forced to leave. Once this was the basic reason. As the time passed on, they moved on to the other parts of the forest, and these people used to live in the places where they have enormous wealth under the lands where they are staying. They used to stay in the hilly regions where under the hills we used to have huge reserves of iron ore, bauxite, magnesium, or gold, diamond, colored stone. All these reserves were found in the hills and in the interior parts of the forest under the earth. So the private companies started to step in. The companies told these Adivasis to sell away these lands to them. When they resisted this, they were beaten up, they were forced to give, and they also promised that they will be giving a job to the family member so that they would not be in any trouble. Even though many of them resisted initially, and they gave very less amount for them to do any kind of work when they are selling lands to the company. Initially, when they were selling the lands, they were getting very less amount, and those who did not agree to sell the lands, they were beaten up, they were forced, because the company officials are having the support of the rulers at that time. So the Adivasis were forced to give away their lands, and finally they moved to the cities in search of the jobs, because they left their mother forest, and now they don't have any other alternative other than joining as daily wage laborer or doing some odd jobs. When they came with a very little amount to the city, that dried up very soon, and so now they are suffering with poverty. As they know very little about the lives of the Adivasis, they are able to find very little information only. So only few things what they know about the Adivasis was that they dance like in a primitive style. Other than this, they do not have much knowledge or how did they live, what are the customs that they have followed, what are the rules that they used to follow, how they used to conduct the elections, how they used to have the head of the tribal family, how the administration used to go on, how the social relations are there, how the divisions among the tribal groups are there. We don't have any knowledge about them. But the people all were very happy. The villages are self-sufficient. The tribal people never depended on any other outside members. Even the outside kings and the kingdoms largely depended on the products what were brought by the Adivasis. So this is what Dadu told to his grandchildren. And he also told that when they moved from there to a city, his son got job in Delhi. So these all moved to Delhi. So that's how they got gap in their education in this process of getting displaced from there and moving to some other place in the process of migration. And finally, they are able to be here, and now they joined in the school. So then the children replied that that's why people are looking at us differently. We could not talk in Hindi because we never talked at home like this. We don't know even English. So that's why when we talk the tribal language, they were laughing. But now they are able to manage, they can understand Hindi, and now they are able to speak few words in English also. So all this reveals for us that we know very less about the Adivasis. What we know is neutrally zero. We know only zero knowledge about the Adivasis, because by the time we come to know about the Adivasis were displaced from their original inhabitants. and they were forced to leave that places because the companies want to do mining. The Britishers want to cut down the forest to have the shipbuilding for the Royal Navy. So all these are some of the reasons why the Adivasis were forced to leave their homelands and migrate to cities and towns.